Deep within the Underdark, there is a massive and sprawling city that should not exist. Duskmorrow stands as the pinnacle of art, culture, magic, and commerce below the surface of this world. However, behind the gilt and luster of this fantastic metropolis's corridors lies a viper's nest. Nothing is as it seems, and no matter where you look, powerful factions work towards their own ends. Some wish to hold the city together no matter the cost, desiring to fulfill an ancient compact that brought Duskmorrow into existence. Some wish to tear the city apart and return this region to a natural order. Some simply desire more power in the great game of politics and intrigue at work here in Duskmorrow. The only thing that is certain is that the adventurers must learn to play this game if they hope to survive. Welcome to the Splintering City.
Hi y'all, I'm Hakoria Dayrock, Corey for short. Before you ask, I am of the Dayrock Diamonds family dynasty, but despite what you may think, my wealthy, conservative, religious parents were loving and supportive, but sometimes they don't understand my bleeding heart. I believe Bahamut serves the underdog, and when I discovered he had blessed me with nature magic, may his breath protect us, I knew I had to use it for good. I eventually moved to the Underdark to study the most misunderstood creatures, and I would have been happy spending the rest of my Bahamut-given life doing that.
Hello, my name's Brody Quint. I'm quick with a laugh and always up for a game of chance. I've captivated audiences far and wide, my acting prowess and my talent with a blade. Most people like me. I'm very good with people, but I actually like very few. But whether I like you or not, you'll probably never know. With my winning smile and careful flattery, I've made even the most stubborn arsehole bend to my will. I had a troubled youth, starting with the tragic loss of my mother and culminating with my inevitable arrest, all before I'd sprouted my first chin hair. To clear up a bit of legal trouble, I was sold as a slave to the circus, where, ironically, picking up a blade bought me my freedom and set me on a better path. While training with the Blade Master, I met the most beautiful creature to ever grace this realm or any other as far as I'm concerned. Life was beginning to look a bit brighter. Then fate reared her ugly head, and I landed in prison once again. With no job, no direction, and no beauty in my life, I may have to fall back on some of my morally questionable talents to claw my way out.
Hello. I go by Hakoon. Quite frankly, I'm not ready to trust you with the rest just yet. I've lived in the Splintering City my whole life. I know some of the darker parts of this fair city, and I'm not blind to the espionage that keeps this city alive. After leaving home, I joined the Slate Guard and climbed up the ranks steadily, but shortly before I was to be made an officer, I was sent to prison for identity theft. You may wonder why I chose to join the Guard under an assumed name, but honestly, that's not your concern. When I get out, we'll see where the road takes me. I have no family to speak of and no set path in mind. Right now, I'm focusing on what's right in front of me, and if that leads me to a more concrete path, so be it.
I am Gustavius Gregorin, and I am a wood elf that grew up in that big forest. You know, the big one that's up north that borders the mountains. When I and my friends were young elves, we ventured out when there was that bad winter that normally stays up in the mountains, but this time it made its way down to the woods, and we ended up falling in a sinkhole. Originally it was fun, but quickly turned to not fun, and our cries were found, unfortunately, by a couple of frost giants. And one by one, I got to see my friends being eaten. I was the last one left when Elroy Gregorin, old fighter archer, he took down those two frost giants on his own. He took me back to his place, nursed me back to health, and I lived with him, taught me many things, how to hunt and fish and use the bow. He was a skilled archer. We had chickens, and I really like chickens. Probably more than I should. Elroy, he was very old, and elves and humans are on a different timeline. At the time that he died was when I was becoming an adult elf, and so I took his name, Gregorin, and that's why I am striving to become the best archer that I can be.